Our participation and again coming together here is so thankful. I'm so thankful. And again, we from the beginning of the practices, the teachings, or whether we're starting, whether we're contemplating, whether we're meditating practices, always in the Buddha teaching highlighted and put the importance of the to activate it with motivation. And because there's so many motivations. Some motivations are the samsara motivation. That means cause of samsara and result of samsara is the continuation of the samsara activities. And that we don't need now. And so what we need the motivation that will accelerate it and help and support to our discovery of this time, to the Dzogchen state of nature of the mind, our Dzogchen mind, or our three kaya status, directly discovered. And always in the teaching mentioned that the enlightenment is not outside, it is like here, with us. But then why we didn't see this? Because due to our kind of mistakes, or naive, or due to kind of looking something different direction with force or power of the duality, we carried away from the point of the nature. And therefore, then we distanced our own nature by ourselves. And today we're returning back to discover of that innate nature, therefore to start with motivation. That motivation is lined up with the nature of the three kayas, Dharmakaya, Sambhokaya, and Nirmakaya nature. And that is lined up that. And so therefore, then it is suggested we to put joy in appreciation. Joy in appreciation, so we're not joy in appreciation of all the samsara activities that we do. That we're not that one. This time we're bringing joy in appreciation. So our goodness qualities, what we have, what we surrendered, think of the goodness qualities that we really surrendered. Even we are midst of the samsara, but yet there's so many good qualities that we are really bound with love, compassion, joy, fortunate, and all the abundance of qualities that we have there. It's all is so wonderful. It's beautiful. This is according to Buddha teaching, is not just came by itself. It has cause and a condition. That cause and condition is not somebody else did and piled up to us because their kindness and compassion. No. According to the teaching, we accumulated those cause conditions in past lifetimes. Even though maybe we don't detect it, but the result we are experiencing, that definitely we did according to Buddha's teaching. So therefore, we should appreciate and thankful of our past deeds that even we don't see right now. Thankful and happy and joy, we did good. Encourage to ourselves. Appreciate. And now what we need to do? That's not enough. Now we have to make that more stronger. We did good things in past, but this is not enough. Still we are in the samsara. Still we are in the midst of all these ups and downs of the emotions and the difficult challenge and the excitement, the anxious and all these things. We are really right in the middle of that. But therefore, we have to go through these storms, these thunderstorms. We have to go through. And nobody else is going to make us go that way. The Buddha teaching said, they give the teaching and the instructions, but we have to put jobs, we have to put activity. And that is motivation. Start the motivation, power of the mind. Mind is so important. I mean, in the teaching said, and we also understand really. When we think carefully, mind is so important. So important. Mind controls every our directions, our perceptions, our conceptions, our ideas, our way of thinking, the ideas, everything. No one else controlling unless we believe. That belief is also mind too. It's not something. So it's not something that really else controlling. It's ourselves. We have every tools and every powers and every engagement and every instructions we receive. And you all know this. And for example, we listen now engaging with the Dzogchen teaching and the Dzogchen meditation practice, we all doing that. But this Dzogchen is not just only intellectual. And receive that and then just let it go. That is not going to help us completely what we want to. like to get, or what in the teaching said, it will help. That's not going to help. What we have to do after receiving the teaching, with joy and with appreciation, with devotion, with humble, with humility, down to the earth, in honor, and receive that as precious golden necklace, and absorb that in the heart and the mind. And how to absorb in the heart and mind? Practice. Practice will be absorbing that in the heart and mind. I'm just honoring, I'm respecting, I'm appreciating, which is good, but it's not going to absorb that. To make the change ourselves, truly we have to practice. That is observing, that is engaging, that is improving. Therefore, this motivation, start with good motivation, good heart. In a samsara too, always said, oh, that person has good guys. He has or she has good heart. That is that good heart. Now this time not that good heart is kind of limited, but bodhicitta, joy and appreciation, love and kindness, compassion toward all beings. Even the receiving the Dzogchen teaching, participate in the Dzogchen teaching, really sincerely feel in the heart that may this benefit for all living beings. Remove all the suffering, difficulty, challenges. So many things are going on in samsara. This is something we can contribute to toward the world peace, toward removing the suffering and trouble in the world, with our good heart and good intention and with praise. Those are the, it's maybe very casual, and many times we think, oh, those are casual, there's a basic. But this basic is so important. Without the basic, we won't discover the greatness of the basics. Everything is relying on the basics. So important. Joy and appreciations. When you think of the really true joy and appreciation in bodhicitta, that state of mind, you look very little anger, jealous, hated thought, and worries. It's really serene, calm, and peaceful, happy. That is what we call basic, but that is the essence. Essence teaching. If we touch to that, we are touching to the core of the essence of our nature. Even good, we have been practicing so many years, but we have to touch. We have to really glorify our joy and appreciations and bodhicittas. And then bodhicitta is what we call is love and kindness and compassion. That's the teaching said. But this love and compassion and bodhicitta, compassion and kindness is not limited to love and compassion. Bodhicitta's love and compassion has no boundaries. That is bodhicitta love. Not just love and compassion, which is so good, so important. That's the value and the richness of the human beings or the beings, because it started or reflecting from the primordial status. It's so special. But boundless love or the limited love, that is bodhicitta love. There's no boundaries, no restrictions. No kind of like this way our life should love, this way not and don't love. It's always pervasive. That is love and compassion, and it's so powerful. That is core of the heartway enlightenment. That is bodhicitta. That is Dzogchen, absolute bodhicitta. Dzogchen teachings, really. So it's so important. Again, thinking of all living beings, we all know this. We all know, we all do practice it, but we have to activate that, really, sincerely from the heart and mind. And we do those things, then this four renunciation also will settle down so nicely. We know four renunciations, or for this 4 point that will change the mind. We heard it so many times. But how much we are engaging and really reflecting on that points in precious lives. And think of that, precious lives. Why is precious lives in the Buddha's teaching said? Difficult to obtain these precious lives. Why is it difficult? And think that carefully. In Buddhism, what in the Buddha teachings is 18 endowments or 8 freedoms and 10 luxuries. How many times we reflect to the 8 freedoms? What 8 freedoms? 8 freedoms. Four freedoms are the non-humans, and 4 freedoms are human beings, connected with human beings. But how much we reflect this? That also indicating life is, we take lives, we take the rebirth. Our rebirth is not just our choice. Our choice, kind of all we want, do everything what we like to do, but we like to have our choice. No. It's also, according to the teaching, is following the karmas. Who did karma? We do now. Karma is what? Again, no other than the mind. Mind is product. So if we like to have the really turn our rebirth from the lower realms, is always in the teaching said, right now, turn the mind from the negativities. Cause of the negativity, take the result as rebirth in the 3 lower realms. So then, these 3 lower realms, and as well as asuras, or the god realms, those are 4 non-human realms. We are out of that. And plus at 4 freedoms of the human beings, we are also out of that. So we have the own freedoms. And I'm sure you read those things, but you think that really. Today you think that, and tomorrow you can have vivid understanding, or tonight vivid understanding. What are those just think that. And then add 10 luxuries. 5 luxuries related with our self, own self, and 5 luxuries related with the others. And that is, we also have 10 luxuries. You know that, you heard that, we heard that, not just you, I heard, we heard, all that. But how many times we reflected? And when we reflected that, what it makes our lives more precious, more rich. Really that is so precious, so rich, so important. And then maybe some degree of courage and commitment, I'm going to make this meaningful life. Meaningful life is not something that we have to make strange things. It's just more cultivating kindness, compassion, more relaxed, not carry the force of the emotions and negativities as always it does. And that is really, then if we cannot carry it, we can self-contain ourselves, self-secure ourselves with very gentle, peaceful way. That is known as meaningful lives. Then it makes meaningful, is spacious, is schools. So therefore, this motivation is so important. Of course, we all know that, but just I highlight to that as much as I can. And together with this, then the Vajrayana teaching and the Dzogchen teaching is a 3 kaya status. All 3 kaya in the Dzogchen teaching. Dharmakaya, Sambhokaya, Dharmakaya status. That is, according to teaching, is realities. It's really true. It's true. But we are not seeing that right now. Because of, due to our mistakes. Mistakes of the long time. And we just completely kind of covered up by ourselves. So now we're exploring that. We're also exploring that 3 kaya treasured by the simple thing of the Dzogchen techniques. Dzogchen is the most powerful teaching and the techniques in the teaching state. It's swift discovery techniques. But even though Dzogchen is so swift and powerful and is quickly discovered in nature, but we have to again have the courage, commitment, and the bodhicitta, devotions. All that we need. Why we needed that? Because they are the line of the primordial nature, and that when we cultivating those attitudes and thought, what is known as in the general Buddha teaching, accumulation merit. That's called accumulation merit. In one sitting, we are accumulating true merit, accumulating joy, appreciation, bodhicitta, devotions. All those are accumulation merit practices. And then is the Dzogchen meditation itself, wisdom merit. So in one sitting, we are accomplishing two merits. All the other words, joy, we concentrate on the joy, and appreciation, bodhicitta, those are generosity practice, paramata, and morality paramata, and patient paramatas, and concentration paramatas. And then your effort is supported to that. And the wisdom, it is Dzogchen meditation itself, a wisdom paramata. So therefore, even in one sitting, we are accomplishing 6 paramata practices, really, completely. And therefore, in the Buddha teaching, and all the great masters said, in order to discover the realization of the true nature or the enlightenment, we need 2 wings of the accumulations. Accumulation merit, wisdom merit, both are so important. So joy, appreciation, devotion, prayers, and really surrender, devotion, prayers, and the bodhicitta, the relative true bodhicitta, all those are accumulation merit practices. All that practices. Then once it is completed, and looking to the nature of the mind, rest in the nature of the mind, according to Dzogchen. That is the wisdom merit. So in one sitting, we are accomplishing 2 merit simultaneously. So those are in the teaching said that. So we have always to kind of really activate those thought, and as much as we can is so important. And those reasons also always in the teaching said mundo practice is so important. The foundation practice, what we call in the Tibetan word mundo practice, but mundo is a foundation practices. Foundation practices is so important because otherwise Dzogchen teaching is so pervasive and so kind of like in a way, in a very space, very space, S-P-A-C-E, I think space. It's kind of pervasive spaces, and therefore, then you kind of carry with that force. Force, if not observed it so nicely, then we use the mistakes. Then we get wrong views of the Dzogchen views, and wrong, again, meditation of the Dzogchen meditation, and wrong conduct of the Dzogchen meditation. Then we kind of diluted our view, meditation and conduct, all that, and then the result will be diluted. Then we won't get. Therefore, this foundation, mundo practices, is so important. Mundo practice is mainly focused on the accumulation practice, accumulation merits, such as for renunciation thought, reflecting for renunciation, which is the essence of teaching of the Buddha, the first 2 noble truth, suffering truth, cause of suffering truth. That is, for this renunciation thought is really the essence of that, this first 2 truths. Then mundo practice, those are what sometimes called the common mundo practice, common mundo, for renunciation thought, common mundos. What means common is actually? Common means it's general. It's not mysterious. It's not just a Buddhist dogma. It's not just a believer's thinking. That's the fact, reality. Precious life is precious to everyone, whether you believe or not, or whether you are practicing or not. Life is precious. It's common understanding. Even those who don't have any belief, if you ask to someone, your life is precious, definitely they will say, it's precious, it's so special. But we think a little more deeper. This precious life is not just came by accidentally. This has something cause and condition past. How wonderful we are that. Now I have to not spoil these spiritual lives. I like to make something beautiful for my future and future of all the living beings. Really thinking with sincere heart. That is extra for going for our knowledge and wisdoms. Otherwise, everyone knows life is precious. For that reason, it's common. But reflecting, see the treasure as treasure is known as wise. Is known. A person is an expert. That's a wise person. Wise man or woman. See the precious as precious. And then second is what? Impermanent. Impermanent is also not something only the believers are thinking or the Buddhists are thinking. It's the reality, fact of the phenomenon. No one says it is going to forever, existing forever. And how is time is changing? Summer, spring, or spring, summer, autumn, winter. And every minute or one day, 24 hours, it's changing. And we change too. From the time we are the mother or parents that can hold in in 2 palms, now we are what we are. This is all that. Reflecting on that. That makes, in the Buddhism what? Buddha teaching said, it makes our heart more soft, more tender. We become more practical, not wasting time. Wasting time uselessly. And use the time, then when we use the time, what not just wasting time, but it kind of bouncing the piece to our own head by ourselves. We spoil that. So have courage and commitment. Time is our side. Time is right now with me. I should use this for better purposes. Have courage and commitment. Combine it with bodhicitta. That I really like to help and do improve myself. Remove my difficulties, suffering, troubles. Follow the footsteps of all those ancient great masters, great practitioners who practice and meditate and follow this path, same path. It's not that they follow something different path and they become the enlightenment or great master. Exactly what we do. This is the same path. Then, the next one, that's called common hundred practice. Common foundation practices is so important, so spacious. And then third one is what? That cause and effect are inevitable. That is not mystery again. This is not Buddhist dogma or spirituals of Buddhism. And everybody knows. The farmers knows. That's what they plant the seeds. And the people do invest their money to the young children to go to the college, the schools, and get high degrees so they have future lives. Future or better kind of lives. Invest. That means they know the cause. If you have the good cause, they have better results. Cause and effect are inevitable. It's true. If a good cause, it has good result. If it's a bad cause, it has a bad result. If it's a good and bad mixture cause, and then the result is also mixtures. That is, again, common knowledge. But Buddhism, again, it goes a little deeper, more strong. So that is all good and bad. It's not just externally happening. It's fundamentally it's mind. It's karma. Karma is not coming from outside. It's produced of our own mind. Good mental state of the mind produces the good karmas. Bad mental state of the bad mental states produce the bad karma. So bad karma and good karma is not coming from outside or nor is overloaded by someone. It's one's own creations. Therefore, if we like to have the good things, work with our mind. If we like to avoid bad things, work with the mind. For that reason, gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in the teaching, cause of suffering truths. Cause of suffering truths. So that means cause of samsara is not outside. It's our own mind. If we like to reverse the samsara, walk with the mind. That's the first day Buddha's teaching. So then next one is samsara. Samsara has a lot of difficult challenges. That is also not mystery, not kind of like Buddhist specialist. Everybody knows. Many people say, oh, that's the world. Even in those who don't really have any beliefs, say in the samsara has a difficulty, or the world has a difficulty. In this world there is many challenges and difficulties. That is. But reflecting, Buddhism goes a little deeper. Samsara is not just only what we see. But according to Buddhism, there is 6 realms. All the 6 realms are going different challenges, difficulties, troubles. 6 realms are our destinations if we don't change our mind. That is our destinations. According to our karma, our destination can be in all those different realms. So if we like to change the destination of the samsara, change with this mind. That's really the teaching said. And it's true. Our mind is so powerful. It produces. For that reason, the gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni said, tame your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Tame our mind. Buddha did not say, tame your body. That is the teaching of the Buddha. Buddha did not say, tame your speech. That's the teaching of the Buddha. Tame your mind. That is Buddha teaching. So taming the mind is observing the teaching into the heart. What we tamed? Tame mind. Tame the wild mind. What is a wild mind? Anger, jealous, and the combination of the anger, jealous, ignorance, arrogance. And then there is all those 6 different emotions, 20 sub-emotions in the Abhidharma mentions. All those are negative emotions. Those are wild. Those are wild, and those are the disturbances. Those are the obstacles. For those reasons in the teaching said, what in the Buddha teaching, and Great Master Shantideva said in the teaching, there is no more dangerous than our own mind. In the 3 realms of all, in a desire realm, form realm, formless realm, there is not any more dangerous to ourselves than our own mind. Our own mind is the most dangerous to ourselves if we did not control. If we don't really provide. If we control, if we really take the care of that, then to discovering the treasure of our mind is so superior. Even and in the teaching says there is no more better treasures in the 3 world or in the samsara nirvana to discover one's own innate nature of the mind. The reward is so beautiful, extreme, but also peril or the wrong side is so powerful. If we can't let mind carry, or duality mind, really let it go, carry that. So those are the teachings. And of course, we all know those. We all heard this. But it is again our kind of thought to share Sangha members. We just remind it to each other. That's what we call Sangha, support each other along the path. We are all going together as much as we can do with the path of the Buddha and Guru Padma Sambhava, and support to each other. So reminding that in a way, we all know those things. But taking care of this mind is so important. And with those understanding, now we go to this Shabkar.